Hey guys, Boo here with another video, and today I'm going to be going over the new addition to the Zerg arsenal, and it's going to be the Ravager. So the Ravager is a morph-off of the Roach, and it really, the only place where I see it being used is either in a 1-1 upgrade timing push, or just early defense against flying units that are used for harass, like an Oracle or something. And honestly, I would avoid this unit if needed. You know, you could just skip it on the entire tech tree because it's a morph off. Because Hydras are way cheaper and they're way more effective because you don't have to manually use an ability to take out the air units. And they only cost 100 minerals and 50 gas, which lets you squeeze out a couple more units. So I'm going to be going over the positives and negatives of this unit. Just give you a feel of how to use it and what it does. So yeah, let's get right into it. So on the positive side, it has a new ability once morphed, and it is called the Corrosive Bile. Now, this is a pretty big breakthrough because now, besides static defense, the Zerg has another option for anti-air to defend, because let's just face it, queens are not good enough. So yeah, this Corrosive Bile really makes it a lot harder for Protoss to do warp-ins with their Warp Prism, because it'll just get targeted down. And the second thing that the Corrosive Bile can do is it actually can break Protoss barriers now. At first, when this was shown in the trailer, a lot of the Zerg players thought this would be a little bit overpowered, and so did the Protoss players, obviously, because the sentries were basically useless, and that's 50 energy down the drain that could have been used for a Guardian Shield or something. So, honestly, I don't really see it being used at all, just because it takes way too long for the Nova Bomb, that's what I'm going to call it now, for the Nova Bomb to hit the barrier, because it's about a 3-second gap from when you launch the Nova Bomb and when it hits. So I mean, your units are probably going to be dead by the time it hits, but whatever. And it can also be used, you know, to just, if you have 2 Ravagers, you place 1 Nova Bomb on where the enemy's standing and 1 behind them, and then they cannot retreat. Like, you're going to force them off of their position, obviously, so they don't get hit, but they're going to be forced closer to you. And so if I've seen a lot of Zergling Ravager attacks that you could do, that's really good, because then they're forced to move closer to you, and the Zerglings will just, you know, kill them. And it's really good early game protection against siege tank drops, because siege tanks, once they're sieged, you know, they can't move. Although this can be countered with Medivacs because of their new ability where they can pick up siege tanks when they're sieged. So yeah, I don't know. That's something little. So on the negative side, and there's a lot, it costs additional 25 minerals and 75 gas to morph off of a Roach, which makes it 100 minerals and 100 gas, which is a pretty expensive unit. I think it should be doing a lot more than it is doing right now for that amount of resources, but I don't know, I probably need to work on my Ravager play a little bit. It has reduced health points once morphing off of the Roach. It actually has around 20 less health points, as you'll see on the screen. But I mean, that's not that big of a deal, although that does mean that you want to put your Ravagers behind your Roaches when you're fighting if you're doing a Roach Ravager push. So yeah, they're also way slower, actually. Their speed is decreased by at least 0.6, as you can see on the screen. And this makes it really hard to work with Roaches and Ravagers, just because the Roaches will run pretty far ahead, and you have to assign them to separate hotkeys so that you can micromanage the Roaches and keep them with the Ravagers. I don't know, that's just a little thing, but if you're past Gold League or something, I don't know, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. The Ravager is not considered an armored unit, so this means that it's going to take more damage from regular units. The Immortals are not going to do bonus damage to the Ravagers because they're not considered an armored unit, and Immortals have the ability to deal bonus damage when the opponents have some sort of armor. I mean, that's why they're so good against Roaches, if you haven't realized. But yeah, so basically a potential strat I see using this new very interesting mechanic is that if you see that your opponent is going for like a huge Immortal push with just a couple of Stalkers, you want to go ahead and morph your Roaches all into Ravagers, every single one, if you have the resources. Even though it's really expensive, it's going to be better than Hydralisks because they're just going to get ripped apart by the Immortals. So yeah, you just morph them into Ravagers, drop them Corrosive Biles, and you should be able to take down the Immortals with, I don't know, little difficulty, because they're not armored and the Immortals won't do that much damage. So yeah, the last part is that Corrosive Bile, although doing, you know, not that much damage, it can do friendly fire, so you want to be careful when you're walking into your own Nova bombs, as I've done many times, and you just want to make sure that you place them a pretty good distance away so your units don't wander in. Even though the damage is not that much when targeting, at least I know it's not that much when targeting buildings, as can be seen in this clip. When I'm trying to Nova bomb down this Protos's photon cannon, it's not really working. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, that's it for the review, guys. I'm gonna show you a quick example game on when to use the Ravagers. So yeah, let's hop right into that. So yeah, in this game, basically what happens is I go against, the classic Protoss. I get cheesed. Cannon Rush, pretty big deal, not really, because Protoss sucks. But I bring out the Zerglings, clean it up because Protoss is easy peasy. And then now I know I'm pretty far ahead of the Protoss. He doesn't have any units. He put a lot into that Photon Cannon Rush. If you can't tell, there's 3 pylons right there. So, I'm pretty far ahead, so I just tech up to a 3rd base, I think, and yeah, I do a roach push, and then when I realize that he doesn't have that many units, I just morph them into Ravagers, and I do a little bit of damage like that. But as you can see, the Nova Bomb, or the Curse of Bile, doesn't really do that much to the building, so I don't know what that's about. I'm pretty sure Blizzard's going to boost the damage on that pretty soon, because it's kind of bad. And yeah, so that has been it. This is the Zerg Ravager review, and next I'm probably going to be doing like the Lurker or something, so stay tuned for that. I was like, alright guys, let me know if you want to see any gameplay from Legacy of the Void. I'll be happy to post that. And it has been Blue, and I will see you next time.
I will smell you next time.